If you've chosen to work out at home without any weights or equipment whatsoever, I'm going to take you through a dynamic warm-up routine that you can do with absolutely no equipment. The goal of what we're going to do with this warm-up routine is to get all the parts of your body moving that you're then going to use during your exercise routine. So there's nothing fancy about what we're going to do. I'm just going to pick quite a few movements to take you through, and we're going to repeat those movements over and over and over and over again to try to get those parts of our body primed and ready to move as efficiently and hopefully as pain-free as possible through your exercises. If you have any questions about any of these after the fact, feel free to reach out to me, my cell phone, email, website, whatever is easiest for you. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to take your arms out to the side, and we're just going to nice and easy move them around in circles like so. So we'll do maybe about 5 at the same size of that circle, and then we'll go a little bit bigger and do 5 there, a little bigger, so on and so forth. At no point during this should you feel like you are forcing any movement, and it should not feel painful. So just do what you can do, get your shoulder joints loosened up, nice and easy. Same thing going backwards. We'll do about 5 or so, a little bit bigger, do 5 more, so on and so forth, just until you feel like, all right, my shoulders are starting to get maybe a little bit tired, but nothing feels painful about it. Okay. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to keep your knees fairly straight, turn into the side so you can see my knees, but you're going to let them bend a little bit on the way down. So all I want you to do is kind of push your butt backwards and bend down until you feel a good stretch in your hamstring. So try to avoid rounding your back. Not that there's anything wrong with rounding your back, but if you keep your back straighter or almost arch your back a little bit, you're going to feel it in your hamstrings quicker. So right here, I already feel a good stretch in my hamstring, but if I round my back, I can go a lot further. Again, neither one is wrong, but I want you to feel like you're getting a good stretch through your hamstrings with this. So keep your back fairly straight. If anything, arch it just a little bit. Go till you feel a good stretch in the hamstring, and then squeeze your glutes to come back up. So you should actively get a good stretch, squeeze your butt muscles to stand back up. Okay, we're just going to do like 10 or 15 of those. And each time I'm feeling a good stretch in the hamstring, and each time I'm squeezing my butt to come back up. 10, 15 reps of those, just until you feel like you got that part warmed up. Now, we're going to expand on both of those movements. We're going to involve the arms and the legs. So I want you to lock your fingers or lace your fingers. We're going to point your palms towards the ground. We're going to keep that same motion that we were just working on bending forward. So we're going to keep the knees a little bit bent, and we're going to get a good stretch in the hamstring on the way down. So stretch the hamstring on the way up. We're then going to point our palms to the ceiling. So reach down, squeeze the glutes to come up, reach to the ceiling. And we'll do 10, 15 of those. Again, just getting things warmed up a little bit. So with this, if you'll notice, my eyes are following my hands. At least for the most part they are, right? So we're looking down here, and we're looking up here. So we're getting all parts of the shoulders, the neck complex, everything moving, right? Nothing fancy so far, just getting a lot of motion, getting the heart rate going, getting our bodies primed and ready to work out. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to get into a little bit of a squat stance. So bend the knees a little bit. If I turn to the side, this is what I'm looking like. You can do whatever you want to with your hands. This is just what I choose to do. And we're just going to take steps sideways while we maintain that squat position. So again, nothing fancy here, but we're getting our hips activated, getting the glutes activated, getting the knees activated. Also a little bit of your ankles too, right? Because we're pushing off going side to side. So your ankles have to adjust every time we make a movement, make a step, and push off. And we'll just go back and forth about 10 times or so. Right? Nothing fancy so far. Okay, so the last thing I want us to do, I'm going to turn to the side so you can see me a little bit better. I'm going to lift up the toes, lift up the heels. And we'll just do about 10 or 15 in each direction. So again, there's nothing fancy with what we're doing. The goal is just to get your body kind of woken up, get it primed and ready to exercise. If you go through that dynamic warm-up and by the end of it, you're still like, man, I don't know, like something just still feels weird with my hips, my back, my shoulder, whatever the case is, reach out to me, let me know. We'll take a look at it and try to get that figured out for you individually.